Tails agree, heads disagree. If only writing an agree and disagree essay in IELTS were this simple. Agree and disagree essay is one of the most popular types of questions in IELTS writing task 2, and I cannot help but wonder if anybody has ever talked about this. You don't have to pause this video here. I can tell you very confidently that a lot of people have talked about this, and a lot of people have also given you wrong information. Now, I'm here to correct information, and I'm here to give you the tricks, the tactics, the strategies to deal with IELTS. So in this video, we are going to talk about how to properly write an opinion essay in the IELTS writing exam. I know that in a lot of videos, people say that, oh, you don't have to worry about your opinion. You just have to present both sides and you will be fine. AKA, it doesn't matter what your opinion is, you still have to present both sides in your IELTS writing task 2 for the agree and disagree essay. But that is absolutely not true, because in this video, I'm going to share with you how to properly write it, and you will see the difference. So hey, welcome back to Everything IELTS, the series where I help you achieve your target IELTS band score. And in today's video, we are going to discuss the agree and disagree essay, one of the most popular types of IELTS essays. Let's go. All right, let's talk about it. So IELTS gives you two types of agree and disagree essays. Type number 1, do you agree or disagree with this statement? This is simple. You just pick one side and fight for it, as if you are fighting for your life. No, just kidding. IELTS is just an exam. You're not fighting for your life, okay? All right. The second type is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? And this gives you a little bit more flexibility. You have more options to choose from. You can choose from fully agree, fully disagree, or partial, like partially agree, partially disagree. Basically, the middle ground. But this is exactly where the problem comes from, because as I said, a lot of people said that if you follow the middle path, aka you choose the middle ground, you partially agree, you will get a better and a higher band score. And this is absolutely not true. IELTS is an exam for the English language, which means you need to use your English to present the ideas that you have properly and structure the essay in a way that it makes sense. I often tell my clients that it's like saying an indecisive person is a good leader. If you have ever worked in a team, you would say that this is wrong, because a leader should always be decisive. And in IELTS writing task 2 essays, if your opinion is not clear, your coherence score will definitely drop. So in my opinion, you should always choose fully agree or fully disagree. I would like you to think about the IELTS writing task 2 like a burger, like the essay like a burger, a delicious one. Now, at this moment, please pause the video and comment and share with me the best burger you have ever had in your life and why you liked it so much. So imagine this as the IELTS writing task 2 essay. You have the first layer is the introduction. It's the introduction where you introduce the essay to the reader. And in this case, we are talking about the examiner. And the last part of the burger is the conclusion. This is where you conclude whatever you have written. And you have the middle part. This is the body paragraphs where the flavors are. This is where you can decide whether this is a chicken burger or a beef burger or a, I don't know, hamburger. And this is where things get a little bit complicated, because as you see, the introduction and the conclusion are kind of the same for almost every type of the IELTS writing essays. The body paragraphs are the different, because with different kinds of ideas in the introduction, with different opinions, your body paragraphs should be organized in a different way. That is why when I teach my clients, I always try to introduce the simplest path for them to follow, the best thing for them to do, so that they don't have to think so much. Because if you have to think too much about the structure, you don't feel very confident with the structure. Sometimes it takes too much time for you and you cannot think of the grammar and the vocabulary that you write, and given the limited amount of time that you have in the actual exam, it would be very difficult for you to actually come up with a very good essay. When you want to have a delicious burger, you need to make sure that every single thing is given in an order, because without the order, how are you going to have a good burger and how are you going to get a good essay? Imagine you put the buns in the middle and everything else like the tomatoes and the beef outside. It doesn't make sense, right? That is why you need to put things in order. And one more thing, let's talk about the body paragraph itself. Over here you have the tomatoes and you have the lettuce, you have the cheese, you have the beef and something again, okay? What if I put all the tomatoes together and then all the beef together? So we have two different layers of veggies and then the beef. It doesn't really create the balance of taste. That is why organizing the body paragraphs is also super important for you, okay? That is why the agree and disagree essay is a bit different from other types of essay. Not that other types of essays are easy to write, okay? We will talk about other types in other videos, but today we talk about the agree and disagree. So let me give you the recipe of a high value and high scoring essay for the agree and disagree essay. Just like other types of essays, for agree and disagree essays, you still have to have 3 different parts for one essay. You have the introduction, you have the body parts, and you have the conclusion. Now in the introduction, of course, we still have to follow the structure of the introduction. It's kind of almost the same for all the types of essays. You need to have the paraphrased version of the statement, where you introduce a topic, you introduce the argument, all right? The better you paraphrase the statement, the better impression that you give the examiner, because that's the first thing that the examiner reads in your essay, right? So the first thing is the paraphrased version of the statement. The second part of the introduction in the agree and disagree is your opinion. Now you have to state your opinion clearly here. You don't have to explain why you agree, you don't have to explain why you disagree in the introduction, but you need to tell the examiner that you agree or you disagree with a statement. I'm going to give you a few ways to introduce your opinion in the description, so make sure that you check out the description after watching this video. And because this is an agree or disagree essay, we need to follow the opinion in the body paragraph. This is where those people are wrong, because they tell you that it doesn't matter what your opinion is, you still have to have 2 views given in both body paragraphs. So for paragraph number 1 about agreeing, body paragraph number 2 about disagreeing, and then they tell you to give your opinion and to talk about your opinion a little bit in the conclusion, and that is absolutely wrong. This is so wrong. This is why a lot of people cannot get away from 5. IELTS writing doesn't matter how good their vocabulary and their grammar are. Let's look at the actual structure of the agree and disagree essay here, okay? We have over here the opinion that you already given over here, right? Now, you have 2 options. As I said, you have agree or you have disagree. Now, I normally do not go through the middle ground unless I have very strong opinions on the topic, something that I am very passionate about. But normally in my actual exam, I don't recall I have ever chosen the middle ground. Now, move on to the body paragraphs. We have 2 different body paragraphs. I normally write 2 only because, in my opinion, the more I write, the more mistakes I might make. And of course, mistakes means reductions in score. That is why I don't write more than 2 body paragraphs. But you are free to write as many as you want, if you can. I'm not saying that you should, but if you can, up to you. As long as you have 250 words, I'm happy for you. Okay, at least I'm happy for at least 250 words. If you write 300 words, no problem. 400 words, no problem. 500 words, no problem. Okay? But me, I write between 280 to 290 words. That's me. Tell me in a comment the longest essay that you have ever written, okay? How long is it? How many words? Back to the body paragraph for the agree and disagree essay. Let's say that now I agree with a statement. The statement is this, and I fully agree with that. Body paragraph number 1 is where I explain the main idea here is about the reason I agree. Okay, reason number 1 that I agree with the statement, because in the opinion over here I say I agree, right? That is why body paragraph number 1 I will be talking about why I agree with the statement. And saying that I agree with the statement is not an actual argument. Okay, I need to explain it in order to make it the actual argument, which is why I need the explanation here. Okay, I need to explain the reason why I agree with the statement. And giving you a lot of general information doesn't make my argument very strong yet. That is why I need an example. This is where everything combined into one body paragraph makes a very strong argument. In body paragraph number 2, because I have said in the introduction that I fully agree with the statement, I leave no room for disagree to come in my essay because I fully agree with the statement, which is why in this case, body paragraph number 2, I will also give the reason why I agree, but this is reason number 2. So in general, in this essay, I have 2 reasons. The first reason in body paragraph number 1 and the second in body paragraph number 2. And just like body paragraph number 1, I need to explain it, explain the main idea that I have, and then I need to have an example. And this is where I know that my argument is strong because my argument is supported by explanations and presented with a real life example. And I have 2 different body paragraphs about why I agree with the statement supporting my opinion. My opinion is strong, right? Strong opinion, fully agree. And I have 2 strong arguments that makes my whole essay very strong because I have a stance and I am owning it and I am supporting it. I'm fighting for that stance. After writing body paragraph number 2, if you want to write a body paragraph number 3, feel free to do that. But of course, you still need to follow the structure. If you fully agree, in this case, I fully agree, I still need to provide the reason why I agree, the third reason, okay? And I explain it and I give an example. Again, the more you write, the more mistakes you might make, and it is not necessary for you to write too long. So in my case, I always stop at body paragraph number 2 for the body. I move on to the conclusion. The conclusion is just like any other types. First, I need to paraphrase. I need to talk about the topic. I need to talk about the argument. Again, in this case, okay, what the topic is, what the argument is for this essay. And then I summarize this essay. Summarize whatever I have written in this essay in the conclusion in maybe 1 to 2 maximum sentences, and I'm talking about complex sentences. At this point, you are probably wondering, how are you going to do all this if you disagree with the statement? Now, if you disagree with the statement, which is in this case here, right? You need to change all the things about agreeing into disagreeing, and that's it. Okay, this is going to be disagreeing, this is going to be disagreeing, and that's it. Let's get back to the burger and let's talk about fast food as an example for this agree and disagree essay. There's one popular task that you can find easily on social media or on Google. It is, in many countries, child obesity has become a serious issue. Some people believe that the best way to solve the problem is to ban fast food. To what extent do you agree or disagree? As I said, I always go to the extreme, so I'm going to choose fully agree or fully disagree. I have prepared ideas for both cases, so I'm going to give the ideas in the description. And I also give the link to a sample essay to check it out. Before you go writing your essay, I would like to stop you here a little bit. I would like you to remember 3 things. You should avoid having unclear opinions. A clear opinion is a strong opinion, and a strong opinion is very important in IELTS writing task too. The second thing you should avoid is to have vague ideas. Things like fast food is bad for health is not an argument. You need to explain the argument, you need to support your argument. You need to give the argument a real life example. And the third thing you should avoid is to overcomplicating things. You should avoid using too fancy words and too fancy grammar before having a clear idea. It doesn't matter how fancy your vocabulary and your grammar are. If you don't have a clear idea, if you don't have a clear structure, you will not get a very good band score for the IELTS writing task too. And what you write has to be understood right from the first read. If the examiner has to read it a second time to understand it, you have failed. And just like that, you are now ready to write an agree or disagree essay. Get free practice tests on practicenight.co. I'll see you there. For now, you have fun learning. Bye.